Now today I'll be making you learn about what is the working principle, or what is rather the internal structure of our ear, how it works. Now let us see today what we are studying in this video. Now the learning outcomes of this lesson will be the structure of ear in full, that is the structure of the outer ear, the structure of the inner ear and the structure of the middle ear. Now let us start. Now in this slide we will be discussing about the structure of the ear. Now let us see in this diagram full. Please follow this red pointer. Now this section is the outer ear, this is the middle ear, and next comes the inner ear. So step by step in the coming videos we will be learning about each and every part in detail. Now let us first point out what is there in the external part. Now it is the external ear or the pinna. Next comes the ear canal or the auditory canal. Now here the pinna, in other words, it's also called the auricle. Now I think you remember in circulation we have studied auricle and ventricle. Please don't confuse with that. This is a separate thing. This is the external pinna and this one is the internal part or the auditory canal. It is the passage leading to the eardrum, and this eardrum, it's also called the tympanic membrane. So what is it? It is actually a thin layer of membrane which is being tightly stretched and tied here through all its sides, so the sound comes and vibrates this membrane, eardrum, which in turn vibrates the three small ossicles which are present in the middle ear. That in details we will study when we are studying the middle ear, and which in turn transmits the signal through different parts to the inner ear, and then we are hearing everything whatever we want to hear. Now here in this external ear there are several earwax and hairs also, which always try to filter the foreign materials which get stuck in the earwax. There are sebaceous glands which secretes the earwax, which is a sticky thing. Now when you put your hand inside your ear, you will be feeling something sticky like thing in your ear. So that is the ear canal is filled up with earwax, which prevents the entry of foreign material in the ear. Now next slide we will be studying in detail about the internal outer ear. Now in the previous slide already I have given you an overview of the three parts of our ear which is being viewed from inside. Now let us start with the first part, or the external ear. We have already told in the previous one, so it will be a quick revision of that. So the external part is the pinna and the auditory canal, and please keep on looking in my pointer, which is this red pointer. Now this is the pinna and this is the auditory canal, which comes and carries. Now actually this auditory canal, what this pinna and these two are doing, they are funneling the sound from outside and they are vibrating this tympanic membrane, or rather this eardrum. Now this is what is happening only in the external ear. Now in the next slide we will be talking about the next part, or the middle ear. Now in the external ear there are many other things which are present, that is earwax and several small hairs which are present. What they are doing, they are actually helping the dust particles and other waste things to enter the ear, and they are protecting our ear from certain foreign materials. Now next we will go to the detailing of the middle ear. Now in this slide we are seeing the middle ear. Now the middle ear, what is it? It is a mere air-filled cavity. Now after the eardrum or the tympanic membrane ends, then starts the middle ear. Now this middle ear, it separates from the external ear with the help of this eardrum, and the internal ear, there is a bony partition between the internal ear and the external ear. Now this is a air-filled cavity. What is happening here inside? Now there are three small tiny bones. Now these three bones, I have taken the diagram in bigger part. Here you see that three bones are here. Now this first one is a hammer shaped bone called the malleus, next to which comes the anvil shaped bone called the incus, and last but not the least is the stirrup or the stapes. It is the stirrup shaped bone. Now the first one is hammer shaped, the second one is anvil shaped, and the third one is stirrup shaped, and the names of these three bones are malleus, incus and stapes. Now what will happen? Now here this three bones start vibrating as these are attached to this tympanic membrane down here. Now this membrane vibrates and this three bones starts vibrating, which in turn takes the sound waves to this oval window part. Flat part of this stirrup gets attached to this oval window, and then it directly below the oval window is the another opening called the round window. So this is directly coming to the auditory tube or the eustachian tube. Now the round window is covered with a thin membrane or an anterior wall of the middle ear. So this auditory tube is also known as eustachian tube. What is it doing? This connects actually the middle ear with the throat. So what is the function of this eustachian tube? This is connecting the ear with the throat. And what will happen now, as any infection in ear can affect your throat. Now when your throat is having pain and all, you always feel a pain in your ear. So through this eustachian tube, this ear and your throat is connected. Now the eustachian tube also helps in equalizing our air pressure on both sides of the eardrum. This eustachian tube helps in equalizing the air pressure in both sides of the eardrum. Now is it clear to everyone? Now again, once we will do the revision. Now it is a small air-filled cavity middle ear containing of three bone or auditory ossicles, namely the malleus, the incus and the stapes. Now this flat part of the stapes is joined to the next internal ear. How? Through the oval window. Now just below the oval window there is another opening called round window, through which the auditory tube opens. Now it leads actually to the auditory tube. It is also called the eustachian tube, and this tube connects to the throat. And actually the eustachian tube helps in equalizing the air pressure on both sides of the eardrum. So this is all about the middle ear. Now next we will come to the inner ear. Now here we will start about the internal ear. Now this internal ear, as we all know, has another name which is called a membranous labyrinth, and it is mainly having two parts. One part is this coiled part or the spiral shaped cochlea, and the second part is the semicircular canals. Now what is cochlea exactly is? Is it hollow? Is it a solid part? So what is its function? Now cochlea is always a hollow thing. It actually looks as a snail's shell. It contains of a bony spiral canal which makes about 2 3/4 turns. You can see one full turn, 2 full turn and another 3/4 turns around the central bony core. Now this is the central bony core, and it is making 2 rounds and a 3/4 turn. Now in the inner spiral cavity, what is there? It contains separate channels. Now these channels are separated always by membranes. Now thin membranes are there, and it is filled up with a fluid. So what is it filled up with? The median layer is filled up with endolymph, and the outer two canals, so the middle canal is filled up with the endolymph. Now please remember these terms. And the outer canals are always filled up with perilymph. Now here you see endolymph and perilymph. So the fluid with the help of which it is filled up are endolymph and perilymph. Now next comes the middle canal, contains a spiral organ which is called the organ of Corti. Okay, so this is called the organ of Corti. It contains actually a series of nerve cells and hair cells which actually join here the auditory nerve and help in hearing. The hair cells, what are they doing? The hair cells inside this organ of Corti, they are very sensitive, very sensitive. They can be damaged by the exposure of like high intensity sounds, like when you are hearing a loud sound like jet planes, loud music. These are damaged. Now the hair cells are damaged actually, and then the person will not be able to hear properly. So these are very sensitive cells which are present in this organ of Corti. Now next we will move on to this semicircular canals. Now the inner ear is also containing 3 semicircular canals. These canals are arranged at right angles to each other in 3 different planes. One is horizontal and 2 are vertical. So 2 different planes are there. Now at the end, one end of the canal is having a swollen ampulla. Now when we zoom on to this full internal ear structure, we will study the full details. Now let us see what is there in the next slide about this internal ear. Now in this slide we will be discussing about the inner ear only. That is, we will stress on the semicircular canals and we will be discussing a little bit in detail. Now dear students, I like to tell you one thing. If you are liking my videos, please do subscribe to my channel so that if you will get the updates almost twice a week and you will get to know when I am updating. And please don't forget to press the like button and press the share button also, so that all your friends actually, they can also take the benefit from my videos and they can also learn what I'm teaching. And if you are having any doubts, please do comment in my comment box, and don't forget to write your views so that I can modify my lessons and modify my videos in the coming ones, or else I'll not understand that what are your difficulties, as it is a type of distant learning. So please do specify what are your problems and how I can modify my videos. Now come back to this inner ear continuation. Now last slide we have discussed about this semicircular canals, and these canals are arranged at right angles to each other in 3 different planes. Now one is horizontal, here you can see one is horizontal and 2 are vertical, and all are 90 degree to each other, and they are filled with endolymph. Now one end of each canal is swollen to form ampulla. You can see 3 canal ends are swollen to form ampulla. Which, what does it do? It contains this ampulla, they always contain some sensory cells. And these sensory cells help to maintain the balance of the body while moving. Now this we will understand in the next part, where I'll be discussing you the mechanism of hearing and balance. Now this part I'll be discussing about the structure. Now in the part 2 of the hearing, I'll be discussing about this. Now just understand that at the end of each semicircular canals, we are having ampulla. Now what is this doing? It is having some sensory cells which help to maintain the balance of the body while we are moving. And these nerve fibers, main nerve fibers arranged from these cells which join the auditory nerve, and which is signals are carried on to the brain, and thus we hear the sound, or anything is rather audible to us. Now there is a short stem here, you can see short stem called vestibule. This full system is called the vestibular system. Now, here we can see the semicircular canals. There are two sac-like things to which these semicircular canals are attached. These are utricle and saccule, or they are called utriculus and sacculus. Now this also have tiny hair-like sensory cells which help in static balance of the body while at rest. Now, position of the head when not in motion, like standing, while at rest also they will be containing the balance. Now, ampulla will be maintaining the balance when we are moving, whereas this part will be maintaining the balance when we are at rest. That is, we are not moving, either standing at rest or sitting at rest. So this will be maintaining the balance. Now this is all about the external, internal and middle ear. Now we can just sum up. The external ear collects and directs the sound waves like the pinna, the auditory canal and the tympanic membrane. Next comes the inner ear, middle ear, containing the ear ossicles, malleus, incus and stapes, which amplifies the sounds. And third comes the inner ear, which is having the oval window, the round window, the cochlea, the organ of Corti, the utricle, the saccule and the semicircular canals. Now what are they doing? They are transmitting the vibration to the cochlea. All vibrations are transmitted through several sensory cells to the cochlea. Now conversion of the sound waves to the nerve impulse. Now through here only they are carried to the auditory nerve. Now they are maintaining the static balance. This part is maintaining the static as well as dynamic balance both. The receptors for hearing are also present in this part. So this part is the most important part of the ear. So is it clear to everyone? Please make sure that you go through the full part in detail, and if you are not getting anything, ask me questions. Feel free to ask me questions. Okay, so this is all for this part. In the next part, we will be studying about the mechanism of hearing and balance. Thank you.